I have a Vizio LED TV with model number M420SV, and it has this type of mainboard in it. Now, what we're experiencing here is a stuck on logo failure, and this is actually very common. It's going to be due to a NAND chip on the back, which we'll be showing you how to replace and how to fix the board.
What are you doing there?
Oh, I didn't see you there. So I have my pre-programmed NAND, and I'm going to be installing it into our socket over here to test it before we install it. And I have pin 1 over here, which is the dot. So let's go ahead and install the board, and we'll just confirm the NAND is good before we do the full soldering install. So let's go ahead and power it up. Let's take a look at the screen here. So we have our logo, and in theory we should be booting past the logo now that we have a freshly programmed NAND. Looks like we just did. Another common failure though is sometimes it does show the logo will go away, and then it'll actually shut itself back off. So we definitely want to wait until we get full picture. Okay, and we have the initial setup screen. Perfect. All right, so we can go ahead and install that NAND, and then we'll go ahead and recheck it once it's installed. Before we go over the NAND removal, I do want to go over a couple symptoms that we commonly see. So this NAND can have and cause multiple issues. As we stated, we have the stuck on Vizio logo. Vizio logo shows up on screen, goes away, but then the TV shuts off. Another issue that we can get is very slow moving menus or kind of non-responsive intermittently on the menus. But the problem with the NAND is that we can't put a multimeter to it to confirm a fault. It is purely a software-based problem. The chip itself actually is okay. The only issue is the software that's held in the chip. So enough of the rants, we'll go ahead and do the replacement now. All right, so the first thing I'm gonna do is start by adding a lot of solder to all these pins. Just completely flooding that side. And then with my tweezers, I'm gonna try and sneak the tweezers underneath the chip and slightly lift it up as I am melting all the pads at the same time. All right, now it's loose on that side. We'll flip the board around and do the same thing on the other side. Same thing, add a bunch of new solder. There we go. We'll put that over to the side. And now we're gonna clean up all the excess solder that's left over. And I'm gonna use the desolder wick for that. And now we're gonna line up our new chip. So we do have our dot over here on the board and the dot on the chip indicating pin 1. So those line up. Perfect. So to attach this, I'm going to start by adding a little bit of solder just to that pin 1 over here, and only that one. And then I'm going to move it slightly till it is perfectly aligned. Whoop, that was a lot more than I wanted. Okay, I guess I did the first 2, and that should be good enough. Now let's flip it around. And because I only soldered 1 or 2 pins, I still have some wiggle room here. So I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Lock in just 1 or 2 of the pins. Adjust it just a little bit. Okay, I'm happy with that. All right, and there's a bridge, but that's okay. I just want to lock in the chip so it doesn't move anymore. Now we'll add a little bit more solder everywhere else. And it's not pretty, that's okay. We'll make it pretty in a second. All right, now we're gonna add some flux. Kind of forget how fast the flux squeezes out of this one. It's a lot more than I wanted. And now we'll go ahead and make it pretty. Okay, we'll do the other side now. All right, and we're gonna clean up some of the excess flux because I did put a lot. Once all that flux is gone, we're gonna zoom in a little closer, confirm that there's no bridges, and also confirm that all the pins are properly soldered down. All right, so now that we've zoomed in just a little bit more, we can see here there's good joints, and we're gonna use the dental tool here to confirm that all the joints are good. There's enough solder everywhere. Let me zoom in actually a little more, okay. Perfect, and I don't see any bridges, so we're good there. And same thing on the other side. All right, perfect. So it looks like there's just still a lot of flux left on there, so we'll do another cleanup here in a second. But it looks like all of our joints are good. There's no bridges, although I'm seeing a little something here. I think it's a little piece of solder. There we go. All right. And then once we're all cleaned up, we'll go ahead and put the board back in the TV. All right, I just plugged the main board back in. We'll go ahead and power up the set. And as expected, we do get our Vizio logo. So let's wait a second or two here for it to boot through. All right, so we do have our menus showing up now, and we can go ahead and navigate using the buttons. So we do have full functionality. The menus are not slow right now when I'm pressing the up and down. So we do have another successful repair. If you enjoyed the content, if you liked the video, leave us a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.